lasts and never ends. Tune and lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Well, hello. To you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all you here in the building. Y'all, I saw some news, and y'all know how we make it do what it do. We talk about anything and everything else of the culture. So, of course, I had to bring this to y'all. Now, y'all know that Milagro Gramz has her Camp Mob lawsuit ongoing at the same time that she was in court against Megan Thee Stallion. So, with that being said, let's get to this. Higher is waiting. Lower is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down the psychotic intro here. You see that virtual tour background. Yes, you hear that virtual tour music. Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Now, I want to show y'all this real quick. So, apparently, Megan does not believe fat meat greasy because I saw this on Twitter. Shout out to Opinion Truths Podcast. Breaking now, shocking update in the Megan Thee Stallion versus Milagro Gramz drama. You guys, Milagro Cooper, a.k.a. Milagro Gramz, the same woman who already lost the defamation lawsuit to Megan Thee Stallion, got slapped with liability, is back on her platform right now, running her mouth again about Megan filing more court papers that, surprise, were literally required because of the existing injunction she agreed to. Can you believe this? Our question to you at home, is this the single most unhinged career move for 2025 and 2026 or what? Why in the world would you keep poking the bear you already lost to in court while you're still under court orders and legal heat? Is it strategy? Is it delusion? Is it just pure clout? Chasing chaos? Drop your highest takes below. This story is wild. It's only getting crazier for entertainment, educational purposes only, allegedly. So I wanted to showcase to y'all the clip right here. Here we go.
Set up and filed all these different things. So y'all behind this book. And you want to know something? This is over a week later. And I honestly think that shit like this be paid for when other things don't gain traction. Obviously, I don't talk about it, but I be seeing what's going on online. So it's not lost on me that Popeyes was open and everybody looked the other way. People was courtside giving kisses. Y'all didn't give a damn. I think people was playing like putt-putt. Y'all didn't give a fuck. Like multiple things that have been posted online pertaining to a particular person. There was even a post about, I think from People magazine, that said, I'm hiding from everybody, but I still want y'all to know I'm working on music because I'm gonna come out with some music. And then all of a sudden, like weeks later, oh, well, if none of that catches, don't forget about this though. Child.
I mean, stupid. So here's some of the comments, y'all. She sure is tuned in, though. LAFAO. She thinks just because she ain't saying her name directly, she still can't get heat. Is she delusional? All these things Meg did get headlines, including the Dunkin' Donuts deal that she got, right? And this, you can see her scroll past them posting about Meg ignored. Excuse me, just to say they didn't care about anything she's been doing. I couldn't stop seeing posts about Meg everywhere. She saw them too clearly. This is exactly why she should have been banned from the internet. She's never going to stop running her motherfucking mouth. She is still lying, trying to push a fake narrative. She is a Megan-holic, and the only thing that may cure her is a big settlement against her, seizing everything attached to her for payment, which ain't much. I love that. I know how the law works, and they knew that the whole judgment, when they thought they won for New Me, was going to blow up in their faces. And lo and behold, all this is only the beginning. Excuse me. And and this is on the beginning. Don't buy new podcast equipment yet. She be knowing everything Meg is doing, like the stalker she is, fucking weirdo, delusion, and her being a stalker. So those are just some of the comments there. Now we're going to get into this. Now this is a filed first amended petition rather. Sorry, y'all. Let me go to my phone. Also, too, let me get some water. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Got me some water there. Let me just explain to y'all what is going on here. Let me go document things about what shout out to document things. The legend he is. Antonio Tollfree has filed a First Amendment petition expanding their lawsuit against Milagro, Cooper, Mob, Rayo, Airbnb, and others. So the amended complaint alleges a monetized fan event called Camp Mob, structured to encourage extreme intoxication, isolate guests, restrict phone access, and resulted in a plaintiff being incapacitated, sexually assaulted, recorded without consent, and later published online. The filing claims the content was exploited and monetized, causing severe emotional harm and contributing to the breakdown of a marriage. In this amended filing, plaintiffs now seek over $1 million in damages, including punitive damage, attorney's fees, and emotional stress. Airbnb remains named for allegedly failing to enforce safety rules and allowing a high-risk commercial event at the property. So, now that you know what's going on with that, here is the full amended complaint. Jordan Thomas and Antonio Tollfree against Airbnb versus Airbnb Incorporated, Milagro Cooper, Mob Rayo, Alexander Jeffries, Texas Premium Rentals LLC, and John Doe's 1 and 2. Right here we go. Plaintiff's first amended original petition for damages. Come now, plaintiffs Jordan Thomas and Antonio Tollfree and file this plaintiff's First Amendment original petition against defendants and respectfully show this court as follows. Discovery control plan. Plaintiffs will conduct discovery under level 3 of Texas R Civil P 190.4. Plaintiffs seek monetary relief in the amount over $1 million. Plaintiffs request that the court enter a discovery control plan and place this case on level 3. So the parties, plaintiff Jordan Thomas is a Texas citizen residing in Harris County, Texas. Plaintiff Antonio Tollfree is a Texas citizen residing in Harris County, Texas. Defendant Milagro Elizabeth Cooper, aka Milagro Gramz, is a Texas citizen. This defendant has appeared. Defendant Mob Rayo LLC. Mob Rayo is a domestic limited liability company authorized to do business in Texas. This defendant has appeared. Defendant Alexander Jeffries is a Texas citizen. This defendant was served with process on or about October 14th, 2025, as of the date of filing this first amended original petition for damages. This plaintiff has not made an appearance nor filed a responsive pleading. So that is for defendant Alexander Jeffries. He has not responded. He has not responded nor filed a responsive pleading. Defendant Texas Premium Rentals LLC is a domestic limited liability company authorized to do business in Texas. This defendant has appeared. Defendant Airbnb Incorporated is a Delaware corporation with principal place of business right at 8888 Brandon Street, floor 3, San Francisco, California 94103. This defendant has appeared. Defendant John Doe 1 is a defendant in this case, and his or her true name is presently unknown, but will be added once discovered. And then defendant John Doe 2 is a defendant in this case, and his or her true name also as well is presently unknown, but will be added once discovered. Jurisdiction and venue. This court has personal jurisdiction over all defendants except Airbnb because they are Texas citizens or businesses domiciled in Texas. This court has personal jurisdiction over Airbnb pursuant to Texas long arm statute because it committed a tort and or breached a contract in Texas and transacted business in Texas that gave rise to plaintiff's lawsuit. Okay. right here, this court has subject matter jurisdiction as there is no other Texas statute providing of a court or government entity with subject matter jurisdiction, and the amount in controversy exceeds the jurisdictional minimum for this court. Venue is proper in Harris County because it is the county in which all or substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to plaintiff's claims occurred rather. In a suit which the plaintiff has established proper venue against the defendant, the court has also has venue of all defendants in all claims or actions arising out of the same transaction, occurrence, or series of transaction or occurrences. So conditions precedent pursuant to Texas are civil P54. Plaintiffs affirmatively plead that all conditions proceed sorry, it's been a long day, have been performed or have occurred. Facts common to all counts. Plaintiffs prior to the sadistic and dehumanizing exploitation by defendants were married. Defendant Milagro and Ma Braylon, collectively Milagro defendants, plan, organize, host, and manage an event called Camp Mob. Camp Mob is a fan engagement kickback which has undeniably commercial purposes, e.g. gathering the Milagro defendants fan base, promoting and marketing their brand, and maintaining engagement of their base. It's about to say fan base, but their base. These efforts of Camp Mob specifically are intended to support Milagro defendants' efforts to monetize their platforms and social content. Camp Mob is an annual event. Milagro defendants host the event at different venues each year. Upon information and belief, Camp Mob doesn't own a venue to host its events, but relies on defendant Airbnb to provide its venues. Plaintiffs and other guests were invited through Milagro's defendants' online platforms, Stationhead, Discord, Twitch, Spotify, and podcasts. I'm assuming Patreon was a part of that as well. Plaintiff Tollfree first became aware of Milagro Cooper and her platform, Ma Braylon, through his spouse Jordan, who listened to broadcast while working from home. Plaintiffs later promoted their candle business on the Ma Braylon platform. And from there, plaintiff Tollfree's relationship with Milagro defendants deepened through continued interactions, including his custom wig making business and participation in related online broadcasts. This particular Camp Mob was held on November 2nd through the 6th of 2023. The sexual assault of plaintiff Thomas occurred during the night of November 3rd, 2023, continuing into the early morning hours of November 4th, 2023. Camp Mob is obscenely apparting, but the Milagro defendants are not merely social hosts. This was not the first Camp Mob event. In this particular case, as they have done in the past, the Milagro defendants rented the venue a single-family home from Airbnb. The venue's address is 7109 Glass Street, Houston, Texas, 77016. So give me a moment as I pull that up. Because I want to see. I think we showed this before, actually. But just to give you guys context, conjecture, and connection. Houston, Texas. Is this it? 701. Okay. Google Maps is pulling up for me. Okay, so hang on a second now. It's pulling up for me, y'all. Give me a moment. So apparently, this is 701 Glass Street right here, I'm guessing, in the midst of all this here. Now, we're not doxing anybody, okay? Now, this is showing a different address here, but let me see if I go to Airbnb, because I'm sure they still have the venue. Oh, that water is so good. Okay, so let me see. Destinations, HOU, Houston, Texas, rather. We'll be flexible, child. Yes, one adult. Trying to find the. I have to. Let me see something. Which Airbnb. Because I swear I thought we saw it before on a recent live not too long ago. I don't know why it's not pulling up, but either way, let's get back to it because I don't want to hold y'all too long. But that is the address of the place there. Okay. Right here, Milagro defendants instructed guests that they could not use personal cell phones during Camp Mob. Plaintiffs learned after the fact that this had two intended purposes, ensuring that the Milagro defendants had exclusive content from Camp Mob, and two, preventing guests from summoning help. Which, honestly, to tell you the truth, if you go to the VidCon, Comic-Con, any big event, you are allowed to have your phone. And not to mention too, like, don't some of the mob are parents? Aren't they parents rather? And so you mean to tell me if I go to this event, right, that I gotta give up my phone? Well, if my child gets sick, and isn't Milagro a mother? I mean, apparently somebody thought it was smart of them to procreate with her. Well, that's neither here nor there. But it's just like, so did Milagro also not have her phone? Like, did you really think that people were going to release footage from this thing that you had to give up your cell phones? Excuse me. While John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 committed the sexual assault upon plaintiff Thomas, Milagro defendants orchestrated the environment and recorded the assault for their own profit. Milagro defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 used alcohol and deception to assault their unsuspecting victims while recording it and then hawking it for profit. Milagro defendants and Jeffries controlled the Camp Mob environment and directed and encouraged heavy alcohol consumption, a practice they referred to as turn it up. John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 were invited guests of Milagro Cooper, and their participation in the event was the direct result of Milagro's actions in creating and controlling the environment. Milagro defendants directed that guests bring alcohol. Milagro defendants encouraged guests to consume an excessive amount of alcohol and use grass and THC vape pens. Guests consumed these substances as directed and encouraged by Milagro defendants. Now, obviously, just to let you all know, hey, Ladybug, good to see you. Glad to have you here. I'm using StreamYard. So if you DM me on IG right here, DM me right there at Braylon _Lee25. I will give you StreamYard and everything else. But it's good to see you. Glad to have you here. I hope all is well with you. We're just chillaxing, talking about Milagro Gramz, child. Just, and I know what people are going to say. Bray, you're talking about her again. Is she not a public figure? Like, she wanted to be known, right? And also, too, in the same token, it's just like, once you put us in the group chat, right, we got the right to talk about you. I mean, I remember when Wendy Williams said what she said about, you know, when Kelvin cheated on her, she was like, and she was very gracious. As much as I talk about everybody else from my purple chair, y'all got the right to talk about me. So it's not like I'm just doing this just to do this. I mean, have you not checked out the channel and everything else I cover? Like, come on, y'all. Just keeping it a buck. Plus, none of that, like, you saw the thumbnail, you know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. So you're just as interested as I am. And by the way, y'all, I try to make sure every thumbnail is different. And let's see here. I was into the Megan and Milagro case. I'm in Florida, was interested in the media definition and law. And this is the thing too, right? For everybody. Oh, okay. Okay, I see you. All right, hang on. Now listen, I'm gonna promote the channel. Okay, we got tools to be able to do that. So this is Lady T-Bug here, 4,150 subscribers. You have a new subscriber just now. And I will also promote you in the chat. Now, of course, do you have to do this as a content creator? No, you don't. But also, to the same token, what's wrong with promoting people who are trying to do good in the neighborhood? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you don't know how to promote others, maybe there's nothing good in you that you want to promote of yourself. Now, that's a personal problem. Okay? It's no problem. It's no problem at all. And if you ever want to come up when I'm live, feel free, or DM me at Braylon_Lee25. And we can talk offline too. But yeah, we just got started, so you're not missing too much, and glad to have you here. And also to shout to just Jonda as well. So there is the link right there to Lady T-Bug. Like, comment, share, subscribe to that beautiful sister right there. All right, y'all, we got more. Here we go. So this is the thing, right? Whenever you are booking an Airbnb, right, there are standards and practices for Airbnbs, rentals, this, that, and the third. It's just like if you go rent out a U-Haul storage room, there are certain things that you can store that you cannot store, not just for temperature purposes, but for legal purposes. Okay, you cannot be Walter White and run a Coca-Cola house out of a storage unit from U-Haul. Okay, so I'm wondering, for Texas Premium Rentals, LLC, and Airbnb, did they not list out the rules and regulations for the space? Because it also depends on the state you're in, because not every state you can use grass and THC. So if Texas is a state that allows you to do that, then cool. But if not, then it kicks up a notch in terms of the criminality there. And like I said, I'm not a lawyer. Lady T-Bug is a lawyer. Just John Dubb, Pam Esquire, lead attorney, plenty of others. Okay, we're talking about this from the social point of view. Go to people who actually do this. And also, too, I remember one of my friends said to me, "You read every page?" Abso-damn-lutely. Are you kidding me? You read every page if you can do it, so that way you can stick to the prompt, and the prompt won't be about you. I'm not making anything up. Okay. They're always trying to circumvent the system in those Airbnbs. I figured as much. And it's almost like, and please don't do this, y'all. It's almost like you going to get a vodka bottle and you switch out the vodka for clear water, and then you try to put the vodka in a flask, and then once you get on board, you try to put the vodka in the bottle. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Like, even when you go on a cruise, you have to drink the rum on land where you are, because you cannot bring them back. Like Cuban cigars, you can have huge problems because they are not available to bring to the United States. Like, it's no joke. Darius Cooks was having dinner parties in Airbnbs. I think I remember that at one point in time, and there was like a whole controversy about him not paying people on time and then canceling events and all that stuff. I do believe that was the case. So was just kind of wondering about that. Milagro defendants introduced a drinking game. Carisha, please, Risha Roulette. Child, Milagro Gramz was having Diddy energy. Good damn it. This thing's gonna say next that she had baby oil everywhere. Y'all see Carisha, please, Risha Roulette. Y'all see that shit. Don't do that to me. You saw the thumbnail, you know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. Which required guests to drink shots of liquor for each card drawn. As far as plaintiffs were concerned, this was a promotional part and not an invitation to provide content to the Milagro defendants. There was not a production team present. This Camp Mob was not marketed as a mock reality TV show or one that was intended to generate content to be exploited by Milagro defendants. Plaintiffs were not asked to execute liability waivers, consent forms regarding the use of their image and likeness. Camp Mob did not have any form of security. So, whenever you are doing reality TV, right, there is a thing as a call sheet, right? And I'm going to show you what a call sheet looks like right now. Give me a moment. Just to show y'all. So if you ever are part of reality TV or movie, or whatever type of media production you're a part of, this would be your call sheet right here, okay? So this is just an example, okay? So you would have the date, how many days, general crew call, shooting call, lunch, the weather, location, parking, base camp. Base camp is where everybody gathers before everybody separates. Of course, the production company, general crew call, 5 p.m. right there. And then it tells you script version, schedule version, where you are in the movie or production or what have you. And then, of course, the rules here, absolutely no open-toe shoes on set. Report all safety concerns to associate directors and production. See something, say something, safety first. No social media posting of any photos, information pertaining to story or set activity without prior producer's approval. Cell phone use is prohibited with actors on set. Individual call times may vary. Check reverse. No forced calls or MPVs without prior approval from UPM or producers. All pre-calls must take their NDBs. And then you have the scene set description. Then you have the cast, their status, call, set, hair, makeup, right? So this is what a call sheet is. And Milagro did not have this. And if there was going to be content recorded, then you would have to get a waiver for every single person coming to the camp. So to promote it as a place or as an event to gather content, but you didn't do the right protocol, that's what we call false advertisement. And you can be sued for false advertising to people. But hey, what do I know though, right? Not like I am drinking my water, minding my black old business, and stick it to the prompt so the prompt won't be about me, right? Moving on. I mean, you couldn't talk to Zeus about doing Camp Mob on Zeus, but child, sad thing is Zeus probably would have took this damn shit, and then Zeus would have had a whole lawsuit. Holy, okay. You know what, Milagro? Go on, baddies. Go on, baddies. You need some money to pay back Megan. Go on, baddies. I'm sure they paid it. Let's get back to this here. Camp Mob did not have plaintiffs were not asked to execute liability waivers, consent forms regarding the use of their image and likeness. Camp Mob did not have any form of security. Camp Mob included other events, including a wine tasting event earlier in the day. The express purpose of the wine tasting event was to ensure that Camp Mob guests were intoxicated so that the Milagro defendants could exploit them. Now, here's the thing, right? That Carisha game is something serious. Excuse me. Did you clip that from Carisha, please, about Ari asking to be pooped on for coin? No, I did not. No. I did hear that Carisha did say that she didn't mind getting peed on, but then she made it as a joke. Child, you said what you said. No, they did not sign NDAs. And I'm sure he could have. And this is the thing too, right? Usually with wine tasting events, there's usually a sommelier that will, hey, listen, I just report what's going on and we talk about it. Okay. But like I was saying, there's usually a sommelier, right? I work in the beer and wine department at my job, and we have tastings from time to time. We don't have a sommelier, but usually you'll see a sommelier at a winery or sometimes depending on the restaurant. And they tell you the bouquet, they tell you, what food pairs with it, all the works, right? And usually there is a drink minimum, right? There's usually a drink minimum for the tastings, right? Because they want you to be able to utilize your senses to be able to understand the wine. So you'll taste one, talk about it, palate cleanser, taste another one, palate cleanser, all that stuff, right? So I don't know what wine tasting event allowed them to get that intoxicated, because wineries cannot play with that at all. It's just like when you go to a bar, you have the right to review service up to a certain minimum. So whoever allowed the wine tasting, right? And listen, if the wine tasting event, if they have a limited option, which I don't believe that's an option, but then again, every winery or wine, place, what have you, is different. If they had that as an option, sure. But if the winery allowed that, then the winery could also be liable for that. And they could be a part of this lawsuit as well. See how important it is to always be learning something, ladies and gentlemen? Moving on. All right. So Camp Mob also included a group meal at the Breakfast Club located at 3711 Travis Street, Houston, Texas, 77002. Milagro defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 acted in concert to exploit plaintiffs by separating them, ensuring that they consumed excessive quantities of alcohol such that they would be incapable of consent or self-protection, trespassing plaintiff's private and secure bedroom at the venue, physically assaulting and committing battery against Jordan Thomas, engaging him in explicit sexual conduct regarding that conduct, and later publishing it on various social media platforms. Now, that would be of Kenya Revenge P more energy. So, and I'm just going to come on the big screen and say this. You did a deep fake AI adult pornography video, right? You promoted that. And then you and your people allowed two people that were under your watch, care, and was supposed to be your concern get SA'd, and then y'all posted it online. They could go after Milagro and Mob Radio and everything else for revenge people. They could. They could go for SA. They're going for SA, but there's a certain version of that type of adult content that they could absolutely go after Milagro, Camp Mob, and everybody else for. So you got sued because you did the most with AI, and now you're in a lawsuit because of actual human beings. You see how 1 + 1 is equal to 2 for you? Moving on. My Lord Jesus. Milagro defendants Jeffries conspired together to exploit plaintiffs for commercial gain. In furtherance of this conspiracy and sexual exploitation, Milagro defendants instructed Jeffries to separate Thomas from Tollfree by telling Tollfree that he had to leave with him in order to handle food delivery while they were at the winery. The purpose of this ruse was to separate Tollfree from Thomas so that Thomas would consume excessive quantities of alcohol and be removed from someone that could pretend otherwise look out for him. This just really seems to me to be very lackadaisical, dilapidated, and just really treacherous behavior. Because there should be a system in place where if somebody is not here, somebody stays with that person so they can sober up. You should not be getting a food delivery while you're drunk. because you don't have your faculties mentally and otherwise. I'm just saying this from a common sense point of view. And for anybody from my Braille that say, well, Milagro had the right to do whatever she did. Go do what the fuck Milagro did. Let's see how your ass makes it. Would you want your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your uncles, your aunties, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, Pookie, Ray, all them? Do you want anybody in your life to be intoxicated when they get essayed? Or would you like to be essayed? Ask yourself that question before you support Milagro. Did anyone call the police? Now, that's the thing. We don't know. I'm still reading it live in real time. That would be the right thing to do, but from what it seems like, no. And like I said, once I get done reading it, you can come up. If you want to, we can talk and everything. Like I said, I read it as you guys are hearing it. And I do take pauses to give context, conjecture, and connection from a media point of view, but also give it to you straight, no chaser from Braylon's point of view. Because there is the media nerd, and then there's the Braylon from Little Rock, Arkansas. That it's just like, yeah, if I did fifth core or half of this, I wouldn't really get any love, grace, or space for this. So, the Milagro defendants and Jeffries continued their exploitation and manipulation later that afternoon when Milagro encouraged plaintiff Tollfree to cast some shade or otherwise mess with the guest about the quality of her wig. Tollfree expected it to be taken in good humor or provide a spark to the gathering. Not knowing what he was getting himself into, Tollfree followed their guidance that led to an argument between Tollfree and this guest. Incredibly, Milagro defendants and Jeffries asked Tollfree to leave the venue for the very conduct they just asked him to execute. Recognizing that he was being manipulated, Tollfree and Jeffries argued about the request to leave. At this time, Milagro defendants are recording the whole thing and offering commentary. Ooh, they're fine. They are leaving. This argument was later posted on various social media platforms without Tollfree's consent. As directed by the host, Tollfree left the venue, thereby leaving his spouse in a vulnerable position that Milagro defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 would exploit. Shortly thereafter, as directed by Milagro defendants and Jeffries, John Doe 1 sat on Thomas's lap. Thomas, by this point, was completely lacking the ability to consent, and that inability was clearly obvious to all around him. John Doe 1, without Thomas' consent, put his hands on Thomas and physically took him upstairs to a bedroom, locking the door behind them where John Doe 2 was already present. Throughout this time, John Doe 1 made a derogatory and demeaning hand gestures. Milagro defendants used a nail to pick the lock and violate Thomas' privacy. John Doe's 1 and 2 sexually assault Thomas after removing his clothes. Thomas is unconscious, and during this entire episode, Milagro defendants are recording the assault and crime. Milagro defendants would later brag that she could pick the lock very easily using a nail, as it was a basic interior bedroom lock. As if this dehumanizing criminal assault were not enough, these same defendants further exploit Thomas, orchestrating a coerced confession/apology video. At the time, Thomas was unaware that sexual assault had even taken place, and due to his extreme intoxication and incoherence, agreed to send Milagro a video saying that he did not remember what occurred. In this state, Thomas was incapable of giving consent or protecting himself from further abuse. You know, and I'm just going to say this. I was on Conscious TV's panel when we talked about Milagro Gramz and the Virgin and everything else. And there was somebody that said, you know, I'm not wishing Milagro's children well because they should have the stain of what Milagro did. I'm a big believer in that children should not have the stain of what their parents did. But I'm going to make it personal for a minute so we can understand where we are. To Milagro and your husband, can you imagine if one of your two daughters, and I believe y'all blended family, let's just say any of y'all children were in that situation and somebody picked a lock and abused your child? Not wishing this on your children, but we got to make it personal in order for you to understand the magnitude of where we are. Would you have the same energy? I would assume not. I would assume not. I would assume not. Not wishing that on you. And when Milagro said that the attorney was saying, what about your children? And Milagro got heated about her children. I'm like, so wait a minute. You got heated over your own children, but yet you didn't give a fuck about Pete. Hang on, y'all. I gotta find Megan's parents because I want to get their names right. I know it's Pete, but I can't remember the other. Megan the Stallion's Foundation. Pete and Thomas. So you forgot that Megan the Stallion was the daughter of Pete and Thomas, right? But yet, you got upset that the attorney talked about your children, right? So, oh no, I understand, gorgeous. You're good over here. We communicate. That part, Megan's Law. I need everybody who is supporting Mob Radio, who's a part of the mob, who's supporting Milagro, anybody associated with her. I want you to ask yourself, if any of your children, grandchildren, okay, some of y'all are grandmas, grandpas, okay, anybody in your life were to go through that or what Megan the Stallion went through, would you have the same energy? Because Beth, being beautifully honest, did not make a response video to me. And here's the gag, child. She's a moderator for Toss Away K. What a shot. That's why you were going so hard. Of course it's easy to go hard for somebody that you moderate for. So you made a whole video dragging Tisha tails for no damn reason when you forgot the whole fact that Toss Away K said that Cardi B and her child had an STD herpes. And Beth said that I don't believe that what happened with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, that they went to therapy because of what happened. And I asked Beth, being beautifully honest, beautiful is in the eye of the beholder, and Nick at Night, if you got that accusation about you and your child having an STD, and then months later you got pounded in the foot, and then after that you had all this personal stuff, and all that was compounding upon you, and you were going through that same shit, would you have the same energy, yes or no? You know what's funny? Nick at Night or Beth, being beautifully honest, could not give me a fucking answer. What a shocking concept. So it's cool for somebody else to go through hell, but let somebody talk about the hell you could go through. Then it's a fucking damn problem. And that's the energy I give to Mob Radio, anybody associated with Milagro and Milagro herself. So it's cool for y'all to disrespect other people, but God forbid that hell gets to your doorstep. Oh no. Get the fuck, no. Ooh, I'm trying to burn. I'm trying to get away rather from these flames. Now he or she who has not sinned cast the first stone. So I'm not perfect either, but I do have a conscience to know what is right, wrong is wrong. Do what you say you're going to do. If you don't have the best to give in terms of the resources you have, give the best you can, because it's going to mean something to somebody. That's the road I come from. That's the village I come from. That's the space of responsibility that I move in every day. Okay? Because, child, unlike this person here, I don't have this type of mind.
It's not just feeding the hungry only on Thanksgiving. It's an everyday situation. You know what I mean? This is 265 days a year.
That is funny. 265 days? Where the hell that bitch live at?
It's not.
Well, that bitch Milagro lives in Texas. Shout out to Nene Leakes, who's coming back to Bravo. Long overdue, and much love, prayers, and support to Nene Leakes. Listen, that clip never goes out of style, child. Let's keep going here. Having a great time with you. Hey, no. This is the same woman who believes the Underground Railroad is a train. No, she is a full-grown, capable woman. Well, capability is also in the eye of the beholder, but she is a woman. Nonetheless, in the words of Niles the Butler from The Nanny, we're still waiting for the DNA results. That was a line from the sitcom. Don't at me, okay? Don't. Why you look at me like that? Why? You saw the thumbnail. You know my voice is damn it. You know why you here. Quit playing with me. I'm just messing with y'all. We're having fun. Well, this isn't fun to talk about, but we're just having a conversation here. Let's roll on. Oh, my Lord Jesus. My Lord. Okay. In this state, Thomas was incapable of giving consent or protecting himself from further abuse. After Camp Mob, and without plaintiff's consent or authorization, Milagro defendants posted non-consensual explicit footage of Plaintiff Thomas and John Doe's 1 and 2 on various social media platforms, YouTube, Discord, Twitch, and Stationhead. And I'm sure that there have been subpoenas for those videos. And when they get played in court, Milagro. And by the way, if I recall, you said you were going to go into the studio, rather, because that's the only way you could release yourself and express, because anywhere else is, Journalists don't record music albums, sweetheart. Journalists don't cancel people. Robin Roberts has never done a camp. Last time I checked. Now, there is a thing called Camp Mariah that Mariah Carey puts on in partnership with a camp for children. Moving on. These same defendants posted again without authorization the events involving Tollfree and the guest wearing a wig. Much of Milagro's defendants' exploitation and invasion of plaintiff's privacy, including key admissions about their conduct, was self-reported on the Stationhead platform. Say what? So you mean to tell me the platform where it was your only source of income for $6,300 a month that you lost because you said it on the record? You mean to tell me that key admissions about y'all conduct was reported on the platform where you get a check from? That didn't say Stationhead in this lawsuit, but Stationhead could also be held liable for allowing a personality to commit SA. Moving on, including broadcasts entitled All Things Go November 6th, 2023, and on May 17th, 2025. In that context, Milagro defendants confessed to the unlawful entry into the bedroom and recording of Thomas. Oh, yeah. Yep, the government is going to pull those up, right? Okay, they're going to pull it up. They're going to play it in court. And then what you going to do? Because you won't be able to use the media defense with this shit. You won't. Can't. And you never will. You understand? Moving on. Holy. And Milagro defendants, and Jeffries reaped financial rewards and remuneration in the form of subscriptions and financial donations on Twitch, Stationhead, Spotify, Cash App, and Discord. They also receive audience payments and event participation. Milagro defendants subsequently removed this content upon learning that plaintiff Tollfree will be disposed in a lawsuit filed by Meg and Pete against Milagro. Oh, sugar pie honey bunch. Come here. Come to Braylon. Come here. You remember those text messages you deleted from WhatsApp? You don't think they can't go to Stationhead and get a subpoena for those broadcasts? Moving on. My Lord Jesus. Holy. Megan P. sued Milagro Gramz for spreading false and harassing content, including sexually explicit deepfake videos, which Milagro encouraged her followers to share and engage in a years-long campaign of harassment against Miss P. And by the way, Milagro said that I am not a journalist. I never went to school for journalism. And if you know that, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you upset? She said that she was not media, and that was found in Discovery. So now Megan the Stallion is saying, hey, remember, y'all declared that in Discovery. And because that declaration happened, that determined the case and the trial. In the words of UNICEF, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, a wonderful thing to investigate. And engage in a years-long campaign of harassment against Ms. P. The matter is case number 124 CV 24288 is presently pending in the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida. Tollfree was disposed on July 22nd, 2025 by plaintiffs that knows the deposition. Defendants caused plaintiffs to get divorced. And that's the sad thing about this, man. Like, you don't know what's going to happen when you support somebody, but you should feel at least protected mentally. You should feel that you're able to want to connect, but most of all, you should have the autonomy, mentally or otherwise, to be free, to be with that platform or without that platform, without repercussions, right? So, Airbnb at Texas Premium. Airbnb operates a peer-to-peer marketplace business model, connecting property owners, hosts with travelers, guests for short-term rentals, and also facilitating unique local experiences. Without Airbnb, none of the operating facts of the assault would have occurred. Airbnb does not own any physical real estate, but instead charges a fee to both hosts and guests per booking. Airbnb stands in the shoes of the lesser because the rental relationship between owner and guest would never be consummated but for its status and branding. Airbnb has a market capitalization of $75 billion. Airbnb seeks to profit from properties it doesn't own. It is all but the lesser, but it tries to shrink its legal duties and responsibilities by saying we don't own the property, we just want to profit from rent it just like an owner. Airbnb is the owner in all aspects except not having to tile the property it seeks to profit from. Airbnb assumes the duty of building trust between users by incorporating a review and rating system, identity verification, and secure payment processing rather. Upon a host or owner accepting a guest reservation, the host or owner has a contract with the guest. This contract includes the host terms of service. There it is, what you can and cannot do, the specific reservation details, the cancellation policy, and any other rules or policies listed in the property's descriptions. No parties or pets. The guest agrees to read and understand and abide by the terms of this contract. The host also may insist that the guest execute a separate rental agreement or contract. Hosts are responsible for the property and share liability for the rental. In this case, that host was Texas Premium rather. Airbnb's host guarantee identifies indemnity and protection for claims against the host for injuries to guests and their visitors. Airbnb failed to implement adequate safety measures that could prevent the plaintiff's injuries. Deficit screening procedures and insurance safety policies are followed. Hotels must provide safe, secure environments for guests, which includes providing adequate security and screening. Texas Premium breached its duty to provide that security and screening. Under Airbnb terms of service, hosts, in this case Texas Premium, are prohibited from allowing experiences involving adult activity, pornography, drug use, adult-themed activities in private homes, and recording such activity. Let me read that 2 more times for the dumbasses in the back. Under Airbnb's terms of service, hosts, in this case Texas Premium, are prohibited from allowing experiences involving pornography, drug use, adult-themed activities in private homes, and recording such activity. Under Airbnb's terms of service, hosts, in this case Texas Premium, are prohibited from allowing experiences involving pornography, drug use, adult-themed activities in private homes, and recording such activity. Texas Premium did nothing to ensure Milagro defendants and their agents abided by the terms of service. Now, exactly. They can absolutely pull them up. They did in Donna Allison's case, absolutely. And by the way, y'all, whenever you are planning like a gala or a gala, or you're planning an anniversary, a birthday party, bar mitzvah, quinceañera, what have you, right? Usually from a party planning service, there is an option to have security be a part of the package. Now, you can either get that separately from a separate service, or they do include it depending on the event. Now, I don't think Airbnb has that as an option for their, rentals, but maybe after this, they probably should. Airbnb security can be a whole division very easily. Let's keep going. Airbnb's contractual relationship with Milagro defendants included explicit terms of service prohibiting the exact conduct at issue on graphic activities, drug use, adult-themed activities, and recording such activity in private homes. Only an entity with a control authority can mandate and enforce such restrictions. Airbnb assumes responsibility for building trust between users by incorporating a review and rating system, identity verification, and secure payment process. And this verification apparatus provides Airbnb intimate knowledge of who uses its platform and what activities occur on listed properties. Airbnb's host guarantee program demonstrates that it views itself as bearing responsibility for guest safety, and the company cannot simultaneously claim to provide indemnity and protection for injuries to guests while denying responsibility for dangerous conditions on its listed properties. The rental relationship between owner and guest would not be ever consummated but for Airbnb stats and branding. Airbnb is the essential actor in this transaction. Without Airbnb's platform listing, verification system, and payment processing, this rental would have never occurred. This constitutes functional ownership. Airbnb's prohibition on pornography and adult-themed activities demonstrates it exercises editorial operational control over how properties may be used. Host guarantee program directly involves Airbnb and property operations and safety protocols. Airbnb's identity verification screening procedures in place it in the position of a gatekeeper responsible for preventing foreseeable misuse. Sexual assaults and short-term rentals board document public record and media accounts. Airbnb's own policies addressing pornography and adult activities implicitly acknowledge the risk of sexual misconduct at its listed properties. Upon information and belief, alcohol was provided, encouraged, and used to incapacitate Plaintiff Thomas. Airbnb's failure to enforce its own terms of prohibiting turning up and drug use at the venue represents a breach of its known duty. And also, too, they do have it where if you do cause any violations, or if you they leave a review that's really, really, really bad and turns out to be that, then you can be banned off of Airbnb for life. No joke. Just like how if you break into Discovery Island at Disney World, you can be banned for life. The urban exploring thing that people do, you can be banned from Disney, you can be banned from Universal, you can be banned for life, never for it to be reversed again. Okay? So there is weight to what you do, for sure. Airbnb's verification system provided it with knowledge who would occupy the property and for what purpose. The Milagro defendants camp mob event is a documented recurring commercial activity with extensive online presence. Airbnb could have and should known of the risk. Milagro defendants engaged in documented harassment, sexual exploitation, and deep fake creation. Oh, well, motherfucking well. Deep fake creation, you say? I wonder if the lawyers could go to the Florida case where you promote a deep fake video. Wait for it. I'm frozen. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, y'all, that happens. But I wonder if they go the Florida case, say, well, she was found guilty for harassment and stalking and promoting an AI deepfake here, and they can use that with this. Now, far be it for me to give an opinion, but since we're here, ding, 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 or better yet, let me just put it like this.
What is this feeling that everyone's feeling?
Ding, ding, ding.
With such feeling.
Ding, ding, ding.
This winning feeling.
Ding, ding, ding.
This tingle of success.
Ding, ding, ding.
This sensation of triumph.
Ding, ding, ding.
This.
Oh, I can feel it! This season, everyone gets the winning feeling. Win guaranteed prizes like $250 grand and more. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Ding, ding, ding. Like the hell? Like that literally says it right there. Deep fake creation. Okay. All right. Let's just roll right on along. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Airbnb system would have revealed this through basic background investigation, yet it failed to screen or monitor. Airbnb contractually prohibited pornography, drug use, and adult-themed activities at the venue. Airbnb's complete failure to enforce these terms or monitor compliance constitutes contemporaneous negligent conduct. Airbnb failed to implement adequate safety measures that could prevent the plaintiff's injuries. Example, deficit screening procedures and insurance safety policies are followed. Airbnb failed to install and maintain emergency service contact devices, i.e. or e.g. a panic button, accessible landline communicate that would have enabled guests to contact emergency services. Airbnb system could have identified that the venue would host a commercial event with alcohol service and large numbers of guests. Failure to flag or restrict such use constitutes contemporaneous negligence. Now, when you think of like camp, right, you think of like the barracks or cabins and everything else. If y'all really wanted to do Camp Mob, you could have just done it at a hotel and just had Camp Mob, pajamas and stuff like that. Like, that's very easy to do. And then that would have been a group rate. But, like, of course, when you have dumbasses like Milagro running things, of course, you get dumbass results, right? So there it is. Just keep it a buck. Agency at all times, material defendants acted individually and or through agents, representatives, and or co-conspirator defendants are liable for the acts of their agents and joint actors under the doctrine of respondent superior agency and joint enterprise. Civil conspiracy defendants Milagro, Mob, Rayo, Jeffries, and Texas Premium, along with John Doe 1 and John Doe 2, and or other unnamed parties acted in concert and with a meeting of the minds to commit unlawful acts, including invasion of privacy, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Each defendant is jointly and severely liable, for all acts committed in furtherance of the conspiracy. So we're on page 19, y'all. So there's about 30 copies, but we're almost there. We're almost there, everybody. Causes of action against defendants Milagro, Mob, Rayo, Jeffries, and Texas Premium, along with John Doe 1 and John Doe 2. Defendants, through their actions or inaction, caused and contributed to plaintiff's damages by A, failing to have adequate procedures for the protection and safety of guests, B, failing to discover and correct dangerous conditions, C, failing to properly maintain their premises, D, encouraging facilitation or negligently permitting the excessive consumption of alcohol and or illicit substances without oversight or safety protocols, E, provoking or instigating emotional distress between attendees for the purpose of manipulation and control, F, entering a private and lot space without consent and unlawfully invading plaintiff's privacy, G, capturing video and or audio recordings of plaintiff while unconscious, unclothed, and vulnerable without consent or legal justification. publishing, broadcasting, or otherwise disseminating explicit materials without consent, in violation of plaintiff's rights to privacy, dignity, and bodily autonomy. I, monetizing and publicly promoting unlawful recordings on various platforms, including YouTube, Discord, Twitch, and Stationhead, personal gain and reputational gain. J, failing to properly supervise and or train its personnel and or those personnel employed or hired by others for whom they are responsible. K, failing to identify or disclose the identities of individuals potentially involved in the sexual assault of plaintiff despite having access to RSVP and attendee data. And mocking, ridiculing. This is L, mocking, ridiculing, and defaming plaintiffs via public broadcast, including making explicit admissions of unlawful conduct during live audio recordings. So count one, premises liability. Texas Premium owns the venue. Airbnb controlled the venue by virtue of its booking app. Airbnb's control is evidenced by its contracts with Milagro defendants and Texas Premium and its terms of service. Its control is further evidenced by actual control of the venue by virtue of its rental app. Texas Premium, because of its ownership, and Airbnb, because of its control, had a duty to provide security and take other measures against criminal activity or torturous conduct. Further, such conduct was foreseen to Airbnb by virtue of its operation of the app and claimed in the claim verification process of its host and its host blank program. Texas Premium and Airbnb breached that duty by failing to take any measures to guard against criminal activity or torturous conduct, e.g., failing to enforce policies, failing to require security for parties, failing to conduct background checks and screening. Texas Premium and Airbnb further breached their duties of care by failing to install and maintain emergency service contact devices, a panic button, or accessible landline to communicate that would have enabled guests to contact emergency services. These failures directly contribute to plaintiff's injuries. Count two, invasion of privacy by misappropriation. Milagro defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 misappropriate plaintiff's likeness by recording plaintiffs by recording them at Camp Mob and disseminating those recordings on various online platforms. They did so for the value associated with it. Plaintiffs can be identified in the various recordings. Those defendants repeated multiple benefits, e.g., increased followers, promotion of their brand, subscriptions, and donations on Twitch, Stationhead, YouTube, and Discord. They also received honest payments and participation, sponsorships, and contracts. Count three, invasion of privacy by intrusion upon seclusion or into one's private affairs. Milagro defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 violate plaintiff's rights to be left alone. These defendants intentionally intruded upon plaintiff's bedroom, and that is Thomas's solitude and seclusion while in an impaired state. These intrusions were unreasonable and violate basic standards for human conduct. These defendants also intruded into plaintiff's relationship and marriage and private affairs by recording them and publicly humiliating them. These intrusions would be highly offensive to any reasonable person. Plaintiffs suffered severe injuries, e.g., severe emotional trauma, embarrassment, diminution in reputation, marriage, and relationship damage. Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm counting these correctly here. That was count 3, so this is count 4. Okay. Count 4, invasion of privacy by public disclosure of embarrassing private facts. Milagro defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 published matters concurring plaintiff's personal life after Camp Mob and without plaintiff's consent or authorization. These defendants posted non-consensual explicit footage of plaintiff Thomas and John Doe's 1 and 2 on various social media platforms, YouTube, Discord, Twitch, and Stationhead. These same defendants posted, again without authorization, the events involving Tollfree and the guest wearing a wig. Much of Milagro's defendants' exploitation and invasion of plaintiff's privacy, including key admissions about their conduct, was self-report on the Stationhead platform, including broadcasts entitled All Things Go on November 6th, 2023, and on May 17th, 2025. These publications are highly offensive to a reasonable person of ordinary sensibilities. The matters publicized were not of legitimate public concern. Count 5, intentional emotional distress. Milagro defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 intentionally or recklessly sought to inflict severe emotional harm and damage to plaintiffs. This intentional conduct is described Sephora. Their conduct was so extreme and outrageous that it goes beyond all possible bounds of decency. It should be regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. These actions caused plaintiffs extreme emotional distress. So that was count 3, count 4, count 5. This is count 6. Okay, count 6. Count 6, negligence and gross negligence. Defendants had a duty to exercise reasonable care. Defendants breached that duty as described Sephora. Plaintiffs rather suffered dehumanizing and severe injuries as approximate cause of defense. Multiple failures to exercise reasonable care. Airbnb's negligent actions and omissions include but not limited to: A, failing to enforce terms of service. Airbnb contractually prohibited pornography, drug use, and adult themed activities at the venue. Airbnb's complete failure to enforce these terms or monitor compliance constitutes contemporaneous negligent conduct. B, failure to implement adequate safety measures. Airbnb failed to implement adequate safety measures that could have prevented plaintiffs' injuries, e.g. deficient screening procedures and assurance safety policies are followed. C, failure to screen for high-risk activities. Airbnb system could have identified that the venue will host a commercial event with alcohol service and large numbers of guests. Failure to flag or restrict such use constitutes contemporaneous negligence. So count BII. So this is count 7. Count 7, everybody. Defendants Milagro, defendants Jeffries and John Doe's 1 and 2 by unlawfully touching and or permitting unlawful touching by others upon plaintiff Thomas while he was unconscious and without consent committed a harmful and offensive contact constituting battery under Texas law. This is count 8. Trespass. Milagro defendants intentionally picked the lock of plaintiff Thomas's bedroom and made entry into that room in private space. None had plaintiff's consent. This trespass caused severe damages. Count 9, loss of constitutorium. Plaintiff Antonio Tollfree is the former spouse of Jordan Thomas at the time the wrongful acts described above. The plaintiffs were married. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's intentional, reckless, and negligent acts, including sexual assault, battery, invasion of privacy, and public humiliation, Thomas Tollfree has suffered a loss of constitutorium. Under Texas law, a claim for a loss of constitutorium arises when a third party's tortious conduct results in the loss of or significant diminish of love, companionship, comfort, affection, solace, moral support, sexual relations, or assistance from a spouse. The defendant's conduct directly contributed to the irreparable breakdown of plaintiff's marriage and the resulting divorce. I do pray that they do not allow what Milagro did and the defendants to determine if they could come back together. All good, gorgeous. Glad to have you back here. Hey, Linnell, still good to see you here. I do hope that they, and like I said, you can never tell people what they should and should not do, but this was not y'all fault. This was Milagro and Cat Mob and everybody who's affiliated with that energy. That was their fault. They did that to y'all. Y'all did not do that to each other. Do not let trauma dictate the happiness that you deserve. Okay? I'm just saying that as just a side note. Because to lose the love of your life because people are not happy in their life, why do they deserve that win? Sincerely, it's fucking disgusting. But God forbid Milagro and her husband get sexually assaulted, raped, or anything else up the behind with no lube and they're bleeding and suffering, and they're going to want everybody on their side. Not wishing that on Milagro or her husband. Okay? All right. Moving on. Defending sexual assault, humiliation, and sequential publication of non-consensual images of Thomas shattered the foundational elements of the marital relationship between plaintiffs. The trauma and degradation on Thomas irreparably damaged the couple's emotional, physical, and intimate connection. In particular, Tollfree was manipulated and deceived by Milagro defendants and Jeffries, who intentionally separated him from his spouse, creating the very opportunity for the heinous acts that followed. He was instructed to leave the venue under false pretenses, and upon return, discovered the devastating consequences of defendants' calculated and depraved actions. As a result of the assault and defendants' ongoing exploitation, Thomas suffered profound emotional distress and trauma, rendering him unable to maintain the mutual affection, companionship, and emotional and physical intimacy that once existed within the marriage. The emotional toll on Tollfree had been equally profound. He suffered loss of comfort, affection, moral support, sexual relations, and the stability of the marriage. He's also endured guilt, shame, and psychological harm arising from his inability to protect his spouse and from witnessing the aftermath of the assault and public dissemination of private degrading footage. Ultimately, the irreparable harm caused by defendant's conduct contributed directly to the dissolution of plaintiff's marriage. Tollfree seeks recovery for loss of constitutional and prays for judgment against defendants for damages and amount to be determined at trial, including mental anguish, loss of companionship and services, and all other relief to which he is justly entitled under the law, and also for her as well, damages for plaintiff Jordan Thomas. Defendants inflicted serious, dehumanizing, incurable injuries to Thomas, including physical pain and suffering past, physical pain and suffering future, mental pain and suffering past, mental pain and suffering future, loss of enjoyment of life and inconvenience, punitive exemplary damages, attorney's fees, legal interest from the date of judicial demand, and all costs of court expenses incurred in the litigation. Moreover, as a result of the conduct and incidents described herein, Thomas has sustained medical and counseling expenses in the past, and in all reasonable probability will sustain medical and counseling expenses in the future. Thomas has experienced several psychological pain and suffering in the past, and in all reasonable probability will sustain severe psychological pain and suffering in the future as a result of his psychological injuries. Give me a moment, y'all, because I want to bring up a clip that I'm going to play at the end of this thing. And I played this before, but I want y'all to be able to hear it for what it is. Okay. Now, I will play that here in just a little bit, because sometimes the truth is out there, to use some sci-fi analogy. But the question is anybody willing to listen to it? Let's keep going. I'm going to play that clip here in just a minute. Thomas has sustained loss of earning capacity in the past, and in all reasonable probability will sustain loss of earning capacity in the future. Damages for plaintiff Antonio Tollfree. Defendants inflicted serious, dehumanizing, incurable injuries to Tollfree, including physical pain and suffering past, physical pain and suffering future, mental pain and suffering past, mental pain and suffering future, loss of enjoyment of life and inconvenience, punitive and exemplary damage, fees, legal interest from the date of judicial demand, and all costs of court and expenses incurred in the prosecution of this litigation. Moreover, as a result of the conduct and incidents described herein, Tollfree has sustained medical and counseling expenses in the past, and in all reasonable probability will sustain medical and counseling expenses in the future. Tollfree has experienced severe psychological pain and suffering in the past, and in all reasonable probability will sustain severe psychological pain and suffering in the future as a result of his psychological injuries. Tollfree has sustained loss of earning capacity in the past, and all reasonable probability will sustain a loss of earning capacity in the future. The prayer. Plaintiffs pray that they will be granted a trial by jury. defendants be ordered to produce for inspection within 30 days the original certified a copy of all insurance policies which may provide coverage for the personal injuries and damages complained therein, which were in effect on the date of the subject intent. Defendants be duly cited and served with a copy of this petition for damages. After all legal delays and due proceedings be had, there be judgment rendered in favor of plaintiffs and against defendants jointly and several and in solido, in full and true sum of an amount reasonable in the premises to be proven at trial, including damages for bodily injury, property damage, pain, suffering, mental anguish, and on the merits of this matter, plus legal interest thereon from the date of judicial demand and paid, and for all costs of these proceedings, and for all other just and equitable relief, and they be given notice of judgment, trial, and all steps and action taken. Give me a moment. Go back up. After all legal delays and due proceedings be had, there be judgment rendered herein in favor of plaintiffs against defendants jointly and severally and in solido. I think that's in solidarity, in the full and true sum of an amount reasonable in the premises to be proven at the trial, including damages for bodily injury, property damage, pain and suffering, mental anguish on the merits of this matter, plus legal interest thereon from the date of judicial demand until paid, for all costs of these proceedings, and for all other just equitable relief. They be given notice of judgment, trial, and all steps and action taken in this litigation pursuant to the Texas Rule of Civil Procedure. Defendants are indebted jointly, severely, and in solidarity to plaintiffs for a reasonable amount in the premises and all costs of the judicial and all costs of these proceedings, plus legal interest from the date judicial demand until paid. Respectfully submit Patrick Daniel Law, Josh W. Hopkins, Patrick Daniel, State Bar 2408-9305, Josh W. Hopkins, State Bar 007-87714, 401 Woodway Drive, Suite 440 West, Houston, Texas 77056. Telephone number 713-999-6666, 713-999-6666, 713-999-6666. Service at patrickdaniel.law.com. Attorneys for plaintiffs. And then right here, automatic certificate service. This automatic certificate service was created by the e-filing system. The filer served this document via email generated by the e-filing system on the date and to the persons listed below. The rules governing certificates of service have not changed. Filers must still provide certificate of service that complies with all applicable rules. David Daniel Jr. on behalf of Josh Hopkins, bar number 787714, service at patrickdaniel.law.com, envelope ID 110120795. Filing code description, amended filing description, filing status 1/16/2026. That's 8:26 a.m. Central Standard Time, which would be 9:26 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then here are all the names here. Right here, e-service, Linda Stahl, Istall, CarterNet.com, Nickel John, N. John Carnet, CarterNet.com, Linda Weaver, L. Weaver, Linshaw, InshawLaw.com, Kathleen Newsome, Newsome, CarterNet.com, Lynn Carter, L. Carter, CarterNet.com, Hopkins Catherine, C. Hopkins, CarterNet.com, Sierra Purchin, S. Purchin at CarterNet.com. Sierra Purchin, already mentioned her. Teresa Vorhan, T. Vorhan, Shinshaw Law.com, Jason Oxner, J. Oxner, Olega.com, and Morgan Rentner, Orega, Oxner.com. And they were pretty much sent at the same time, 1:15:26 and 7:05:36 p.m. sent. So that's everything you need to know. Now I want to play this clip. For those of you who don't know about Diane McClurkin, right? Diane McClurkin allegedly did some sexual abuse to a former male assistant. And Milagro Gramz, after promoting a deep fake video of Megan Thee Stallion and allegedly a deep fake of this Camp Mob thing, she decides, right, that she had the black audacity, the black prophecy, and the black imagination to talk about how somebody should go through being assaulted. I want you to listen to this. Here we go.
Now, between me and you, when you're over 18, if you don't have a mental disability and you keep going by somebody and y'all supposed to be praying to get away, but he keep on grabbing your dick, thereby doing gay shit, why did you keep going over there? How did he end up? Because we're using the word rape. How did he end up getting to that? This was an escalation. They talking about this man is alleging he was raped for about 10 years. Groomed and raped over the course of 10 years. Did you have a phone? Did you want to call 911 and maybe hesitate on the last one? What the hell is going on? How does an adult male with access get groomed in a situation like this? One would ask that question, but some say everybody's mind is different.
Now, far be it from me to give an opinion, but that reminds me of a black nigga in New York who said it was sad what happened to Cassidy. He was wearing a red shirt, but he said 911. I hope his wife, his daughter, his cousins, his nieces, his grandma, his auntie, or any woman he knows did not get raped in New York City during the day trial. Y'all heard what she said, right? How can you, at 18 years old with no mental disability, be denied access and be raped over 10 years? So you want to talk about how somebody else should go through pain. Meanwhile, you caused pain at your own event and you got found guilty of stalking, harassment, and bullying of Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. I'm going to drop the link if Lady T-Bug wants to come up. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all, it's right there. She don't give a fuck about nobody. She don't give a fuck about her husband. She don't give a fuck about her children. She doesn't give a fuck unless you can do something for her. She is the black female version of the president of the United fucking States. She's a younger version of thirsty toxicity. Y'all heard it. Child, I'll put in the link if Lady T-Bug wants to come up, and you can have your camera off, child, if you want to just have your camera off. Okay, all good, beautiful. All good. Y'all, we're just going to sit here for a minute. Because, yeah, that was a lot. That was quite a lot. Like I said, we do our best over here to make sure that we can cover the sunshine and rainbows for you all. In the words of Rocky, it's not about how hard you can get hit, but it's about how much energy you can have to get back up from getting hit. But there's going to be some rain and some lightning and some thunder along these tours. I'm going to make sure that you get there from A to Z A-okay. Just because we get to Z doesn't mean that it wasn't a struggle in the midst of it all. And child, there are people out here that have been hustling for 10 years that can't even get to the door for opportunities for them to rise up to the higher that's weighing. But Milagro Gramz can say that shit and have a career. Okay, child. God forbid somebody has that commentary on Milagro's children one day. Not wishing that, by the way. Didn't you say that your mama was on drugs? You said that, right? Last time I checked, you said that your dad forgot about your mama because he played football. So basically, to use a oldie but goodie, he plowed your mama like a touchdown in the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, and then when you came out, he forgot about you and your mama and moved on to the next season of the NFL. That don't feel too good for you to hear that, right? But yet you said that about grown-ass man and his pain. Oh my God. Did your family reject you, your dad's side? Pot me kettle. With that being said, I'm going to turn on my camera now because we have done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Child, and y'all, I read every page, okay? So I don't want to hear shit. Braylon, you did this, that, and the third. Nope. I read it for what the fuck it was, page by page, including every fucking email at the bottom. I don't want to hear shit. These are public documents. If Milagro does not like my commentary, she should not have created the circumstances for commentary to occur. Okay? All right? We good? I can't. And by the way, before anybody checks me, let me just show y'all what I do. Okay? I think it's fair. But you guys know what I do. I think it's quite fair. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Let me just show you what I do. This is what I do. Right here. This is what I do. All this right here. I'm just going to scroll. Okay? For anybody that wants to come from me, check what I do. Compare that to other people in this broken ass sector that can't do a fifth core or a half of what I do, because if they did, they would mentally choke. They would mentally be in a coma. They would not be able to wake up and have the capacity to be anything of importance or be a non-motherfucking factor. Okay, this is what I do. So please, don't come for me unless you can match what the fuck I do. Okay, I'm just going to keep scrolling. Okay, I'm just going to keep scrolling. I'm just going to keep scrolling. You watch, I'll scroll. Wow, covered the whole Megan Thee Stallion trial. Look at that. Covered the Brit Edie lawsuit. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. Covered the Wendy Osefo Mia Thorin, Portia Williams, yeah, a couple that too. Braxton's, Ready to Love, Disney, Funko, gonna shut down. Y'all looking really stupid right now, huh? Oh shit, this motherfucker minds his damn business. Shit, he stands on his own shit. He's flexible, adaptable, and he's about the business. Shit. Yeah. Congratulations. You played yourself. I'm still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Okay. So are we Gucci over here? Very good. Very good. Y'all couldn't see it. My bad. Sometimes when I get upset, y'all can't see. But I will scroll back up to the top. And I will do the scroll again. So let's scroll. Scroll. Let's scroll. Show you what I do. For real this time. I didn't know y'all couldn't see it. But let's scroll. I'm just scrolling, child. I'm just scrolling. Just scrolling. Cover the Will Smith thing. Tyler Perry. Stephon Diggs. Nicki Minaj. Yeah, we'll cover that. One of your stuff. Oh, yeah, we'll cover that. Funky Dineva. Junkie Dineva, as he really is now. But moving on, I just cover Netflix, cover BET, cover Versant, cover Tamar Braxton. Still scrolling, cover the whole trial Megan Thee Stallion. Every day. I remember the Diddy verdict. I was up here on live from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. that fucking Friday. Okay. So I'm going to keep scrolling. You watch, I'll scroll. Okay. If you want to know about me and what I do over here on my porch, my church house, my domicile. Just scrolling. Jimmy Kimmel covered him. Whole thing about that. Dr. Ariel from Bravo's King's Court. View King's Court. Covered the Derek Dixon, Lindsay Davis interview. So we Gucci over here. Okay. This child. I don't want to hear it. Back off camera. Oh my Lord. Sometimes you gotta let people know. Not today. Not today. Child. We're just resting, y'all, at this point. Okay, Lady T-Bug, I think I messaged the right account, I believe. So let me know if you got it. I just DM'd you so we can be connected. So yeah, just let me know. Ciao. I think we need a palate cleanser. No, I mean, sometimes you really do got to let them know, though. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it was just, and by the way, I forgot to mention I covered the Kenyon Moore confessions thing. Something with all the Kenyon Moore hair. I'm like, child, I don't discover this. What? This was a cultural experience everybody was covering. Okay, got you, gorgeous. This is a cultural experience that everybody wants to talk about. Now I just have to be the person to deliver it. Just because I'm covering something don't mean I hate somebody. The words of Roland Martin, if you do good, I'll talk about you. If you do bad, I'll talk about you. But either way, I'm going to talk about you. And that keeps everybody on level playing field. Like I said, 8 times out of 10, I have been right on these destinations. I give a little love, grace, and space because I'm sure all my takes on every destination have not been up to the culture standards, but I've never lost a tour either in terms of my research. In terms of my preparation, in terms of my vitality of being about the truth of it all. I'm a commentator with a journalist's soul. So in case you need to know who I am, where I come from, and how I roll, here's how we get down over here. We'll take a little commercial break. We'll be back when we're live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Roll it.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braylon got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then. Where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and 2 things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand, and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth. We're free, trust and believe. It's entertainment, news done our way with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. And just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
here you leave today and enter a world of
World of princesses.
A world of villains.
And heroes.
Raise your sabers.
A world of other worlds.
A world of all the favorites. A world of throwbacks.
A world of
for whatever you love. Infinite worlds await.
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life. Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
Wedgies.
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day. What we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Where are the girls that like to have fun? Chicas. Where are the girls that like to have fun? Chicas. Where are the girls that like to have fun? Chicas. Where are the girls that like to have fun? Chicas. Where are the girls that like to have fun? I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. H-I-C-A-S, H-I-C-A-S, H-I-C-A-S. I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. C-H-I-C-A-S, 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 C-H-I-C-A-S. Chicas, divertidas. Where are the McDonald's? I'm loving it.
And I'm loving y'all right back. And by the way, Megan, I think that you should pay for this trial. Yeah. Yeah, since, Milagro doesn't believe fat meat greasy, just pay for the defendant. Just pay for the plaintiffs. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you Milagro would just love that. The person that she got found, the person that made her guilty, is helping other people, and you would be a bitch, wouldn't it? Back off camera. Y'all, that's all I got for y'all. I appreciate everybody for coming through here. Like I said, if there's any other updates on Milagro Gramz, I will bring them to you with the energy, the frequency, and the vitality that they need to be. And like I said, I just call for what I see it. You know what I mean? Y'all can go back and listen to that clip. And that is actually on her YouTube channel right now. So it's amazing how Milagro could say that out of her mouth, but yet content creators try to play clips and get copyrighted. But okay, that's cool to disrespect a whole man's autonomy and his history of how he should feel about being great. But yet we can't play clips on YouTube. Okay, chill. All right, we're starting close anyway. With that being said, y'all, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. I want to thank everybody for being here late. T-Buzz, we are connected, my sister. So anytime you go live, just let me know. I will definitely come through and show support as well. And by the way, thank you for calling me that. I love the Buki term. It was a new term that I've learned just here recently, but I love it, love it, love it. Sweet Essence also calls me Buki, so much love to her as well. Much love to everybody who's supporting me in the background and out loud. I appreciate y'all so much. L&L still are always good to see you as well, my friend. All right, y'all. It's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born a blessing. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Doing what you've been chosen to do. Wise one thing. Call yourself nothing. Wait. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born a blessing. Wise one thing. Call yourself nothing. Be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, Ross, we'll be great together. And always remember, you're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you just got a very valuable lesson on what not to become. Okay? With what you just watched with Milagro Scams. Shout out to Conscious TV. Make sure the replay is not just for you watch it, not just for you listen to it, but if you want to experience it again. I love you. I value. I embrace you all. Always remember, see the love you got to give it, or see the love you got to give it, or see the love you got to give it. Whatever obstacles you've overcome and whatever success you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one else is proud of you. Be proud of you, damn. So finally, y'all remember, we got to get back to a point where someone's pain is everybody's pain, because it could become your pain down the line. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's to come, for the blessings that are on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as people, as a culture. I feel the love, and I send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you, and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success, and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you, and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success, and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it It doesn't matter because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, An isle of fire-breathing excitement. A shadowy world of monsters and mystery. New wonders in the wizarding world. And a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because
Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about.